to move on to it. Item B, ask for a motion to return from executive session per NMSA 10-15-1H7.
Make a motion to return from executive session per NMSA 10-15-1H7. In attendance were the mayor, the full council, village manager, and legal representation. No decisions were made.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item B. Mayor Pro Tem Crane.
Aye.
Councillor Howe.
Aye.
Councillor Weeks.
Aye.
And Councillor Curry. Motion passed and we're on the record.
Back from executive session. I apologize, I was having a pen issue. We had moved item H on old business to where?
We had moved it to above item C.
Should have been. So we're gonna quickly, let's,
We want to do item C first since we're,
well, we amended the agenda, so we're gonna move on to item H.
okay.
I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-44, wildfire protection fees.
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. I trust that you guys have read the packets ahead of time and had the information before you for quite some time. We've put in quite a bit of effort and work into creating this resolution. Not all pieces were present. I think we have all the kinks worked out, including the back end of how to distribute wildfire protection fees from those who have received a defensible space assessment, and how to shift those fees to those that are non-compliant. The section that I'll have you focus on first is section 1, FY27. It's on the second page. That was the latest addition that we put onto that. The section before you should say, should have a table in the middle of it. It should look something like this. If it does not, let me know so we can make sure that you have the correct item. We have this on the agenda. Yours may be a little bit.
Camera's over here.
Yes, sir. That was the last item that we added that we were working on. Originally, we had used a CPI index of 2.7 and researched that a little bit more and had to change that to 4.2. So for example, somebody who has a defensible space assessment on a lot that is less than 1 acre, their FY26 rate was $10. If they are DSO compliant, they will have that reduced to $5.21, and if they are not have not had a DSO assessment and not DSO compliant, their dues will be $10.56. Our fees for pine needles, tree stump disposal fees are unchanged. Those are very recent additions that we've added, so we decided to leave those in place. The multi-dwelling monthly fee has a flat rate of $4 per dwelling unit, no changes in that. And some information about how we concluded this CPI index. Try to be as thorough as possible with all the application of the DSO assessment fees and explanation of those terms. There is a little bit of language in there that we will provide the first DSO assessment for free, including a follow-up DSO assessment. But if we get into a situation where we continue to have to go back to the same residence to do the same assessment and no changes have been made, no improvements, or none of the items were addressed since our last visit, then we can impose up to a $100 fine for that, just to not waste everybody's time. And that is letter E. Yeah, and I think that pretty much covers it. I'll stand for any questions on it.
So if residents have already had an assessment, and if that was a positive assessment, is that on record here in the village, or?
Yes, we created a back-end data collection system with a program that we use called Smartsheet It allows our people to go out and perform the assessment and fill in some data on a tablet.
Right.
And that populates on a screen here and is collected for us. Right now, we're sitting at about 118 DSO assessments officially. 5 of those were not completed. So 113 of them have been successfully completed. But we keep very detailed records of that. And we, going through this process, identified a couple of areas where we can improve on that. So we need to work on when we get a DSO assessment request, we need to verify that information with utility billing to ensure that we're billing for the proper lot size. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that these are for developed and improved lots, and that's all they apply to, and that was very specific in some of the language. So these aren't lots that don't have utilities brought to them or do not have homes on them.
Chief, I have a question for you, and I appreciate how much back-end work took to get here. My only question is on the chart for the wild protection fees itself. It's stated in here on the resolution that this was to be the 4.2% increase, but it doesn't look like those numbers shake out. Is that because of the difference? It is, in other words, if the old rate was $10, well, 4.2% of that is not $10.56, so what's the discrepancy there?
Yeah, I'd like to defer to either Manager Weir or Adrian.
Sorry.
Oh, Manager.
Mayor, Council, yeah, so what is on here is it shows the prior year rate. We increased that prior year rate by 4.2%. If you are compliant per ordinance, you get a 50% discount off of that rate. And then that discount is then utilized to calculate the rates for the people that are non-compliant. So it's distributed across the people that are non-compliant.
But, again, increasing $10 by 4.2% doesn't net you $10.56.
No, because what it increases it, plus the
The
savings
savings.
Discount.
added back on top of it.
Got it.
And
So
the savings is allocated by the percentage of impact of the amount of the savings.
So, and just to be clear, so when we do this then next year, that same calculation that's happening in the background for the 113 lots that are compliant, whatever it is next year, is gonna affect it. I just wanna make sure that there's no question that these numbers are stated as going up by the CPI of 4.2, and they're obviously greater than that, so I was just looking for that.
Yeah, for the non-compliant, it's the increase of 4.2 plus the distribution of the savings from the compliant.
Got it.
Keep in mind of the 113 or 118 that were used, they come at various increments within that chart, so
Yeah.
some of them are different lot sizes, et cetera. So the total cumulative amount of all of those 50% compliance reduction was then added on to the other column, which would be the non-compliant lot.
And in the packet, Mr. Mayor, one of the pages that was included, it's not part of the resolution, but it was included as a base Excel spreadsheet without the number of units in there that basically shows the calculation.
So we'll just simply, that way we're not having to redo this multiple times a year. The resolution that will be in effect of July 1 of next year will do the same thing, so people need to have their lots in compliance by what date to be afforded this?
Again, June 1st, and that gives us 30 days to reconcile those lists and put this computation together. A lot of thanks to Manager Weir and the Finance Department, Agent Rendon, for putting together that spreadsheet. So we now have a way to just calculate these. It won't be so mind-numbing next year.
Okay. Any other questions? Comments? Dr. Strickland? Or, I'm sorry, I'd ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion on item H to approve resolution 2026-44 wildfire protection fees.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item H. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Thank you. Let me know if any of you would like to review those, that data collection that we have on the back end. Be happy to show it to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to ask for a motion on item C to approve an offer to settle pending Bobick versus Angel Fire lawsuit.
I make a motion on old business item C, approve offer to settle pending Bobick versus Angel Fire lawsuit.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item C. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Nay.
Counselor Howe,
Nay.
Counselor Weeks,
Nay.
and Counselor Curry. Motion failed.
Okay, moving on to old business item D. I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-23, water sewer availability rates. Director Emily.
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, Council. I'd like to say I was informed that apparently I do not have to read this line by line unless y'all request for me to do so, which I will gladly do. But for starters, I want to say that the prices and subsequent increases are based on the increase in CPI as found in the Bureau of Labor Statistics as of December 31st, 2025. Everything that I will be presenting is with an increase of 4.7% based on this report. Also attached with each one, I've given a little printout that designates the 4.7 increase, and everything that is presented falls under the line item of water and sewage and trash collection services, okay? So, starting with resolution 2026-23, which is water sewer availability rates, rescinding prior resolutions. You can see the new rates for fiscal year 2027 will be water availability fee of $13.76 per month, billed quarterly at $41.28. Sewer availability fee at $30.83 per month, billed semi-annually at $184.98.
Any questions or comments? I'd like to ask for a motion.
Make a motion on old business item D, approving resolution 2026-23, waters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. No, Counselor, please proceed.
I think it does.
Or around it, no, it didn't.
Yeah, the current rate is calculated wrong. The proposed rate for fiscal year 27 is correct.
Yeah, we've been working with those bad figures, yeah, so.
And to understand, no problem, but also to understand and calculating the 4.7 increase, I did not round up any numbers, because that would put you in excess of 4.7%.
If there's nothing further, I ask Counselor Crane to proceed with the motion.
I make a motion on old business item D, approving resolution 2026-23, water sewer availability rates.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Mr. Mayor. This is the old rates that was going out for 26 and the new rate is 27. Okay, Counselor Weeks, you seconded?
Yes.
Roll call vote on old business item D. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Okay, moving on to item E, I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-32, water sewer rates to include fire domestic use. Director Epler.
Once again, presenting resolution 2026-32, water sewer rates to include fire domestic use and rescinding prior resolutions. Once again, based on CPI report from Bureau of Labor Statistics as of December 31st, 2025, the reported increase is 4.7% for the 2026 calendar year for water and sewage and trash collection services.
Any questions or discussion? Not, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on old business item E, approving resolution 2026-32, water sewer rates to include fire domestic use.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item E. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Okay, I'd like to open item F for discussion. That's to approve resolution 2026-34, the schedule of tap fees for multifamily structures. Director Epler.
Resolution 2026-34, schedule of tap fees for multifamily structures and rescinding prior resolutions. Again, increases are based on CPI from Bureau of Labor Statistics as of December 31st, 2025. Reports an increase of 4.7% increase be applied for the 2026 calendar year for water and sewage and trash collection services.
Are there any questions or discussion? Not, I'd ask for a motion on item F.
Make a motion on old business item F, approving resolution 2026-34, schedule of tap fees for multifamily structures.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F for old business. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Excuse me. I'd like to open item G for discussion, and that's to approve resolution 2026-35, solid waste transfer station rates. Director Epler.
Presenting resolution 2026-35, solid waste transfer rate and rescinding all others. Before you is the increase proposed in rates for this resolution based on CPI report from Bureau of Labor Statistics as of December 31st, 2025, indicates an increase of 4.7% for the 2026 calendar year for water and sewage and trash collection services. Would like to point out two items in this resolution that differ from last year. One is there is now a price for material to be weighed per ton and charged for. There is one rate that covers all types of material with charges for individual problematic solid waste still being charged for items such as mattresses, refrigerators, so forth and so on. Another thing to note is that if scales are unavailable, the yardage rates listed still apply. So that's why we still have the yardage rates in this chart. I stand for any questions.
Questions or comments? If not, I'd ask for a motion on item G.
Make a motion on old business item G, approving resolution 2026-35, solid waste transfer station rates.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on old business item G. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Moving on to new business, I have on my agenda that we'll be starting with item H. And item H is, I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-51, meter installation charge. Director Epler.
Presenting resolution 2026-51, meter installation charge and rescinding prior resolutions. Before you is the proposed increase in charges for meter installation based on CPI report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics of December 31st, 2025, which is a 4% increase for the 2026 calendar year for water and sewage and trash collection services. Stand for any questions.
Any questions or discussion? Just checking that math. If not, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on new business item H, approving resolution 2026-51, meter installation charge.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business item H. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Moving on to item A under new business, open discussion to approve resolution 2026-33, solid waste service rates. Director Evans.
Presenting resolution 2026-33, solid waste trash service rate and rescinding all others. From CPI report of December 31st, 2025, 4.7% increase is listed for the beginning of the 2026 calendar year for water and sewage and trash collection services. Stand for any questions.
Any questions or comments? If not, ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item A, approving resolution 2026-33, solid waste service rates.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item A, new business. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Thank you, Director. All right, up next is item B. I'd like to open discussion to approve resolution 2026-47, adoption of the 2028-2032 ICIP infrastructure capital improvement plan. Ms. Bland.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Council, Administrator Weir, and Clerk Strickland. Before you have the reading and ranking that we discussed on our previous council work session. The ICIP resolution is a requirement for turning in all the paperwork, and I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Any questions for CPO? If not, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item B, approving resolution.
Manager Weir?
I'm sorry, I didn't recognize this till now, but under Fire Station 1, it says 52200. I think there should be another 0 in there after the second 2.
Okay.
So I don't know that needs to be amended or not, but the number for the Fire Station 1 construction is just a 0. It's a typo, a 0 wasn't typed in.
I would ask for an amended motion.
You want me to amend the motion and then vote on it, or do you want me to make an amended motion?
We looked it up, it's his choice.
Okay.
He cut you off, so let's just start fresh here. Just make it, make it.
I will make the motion then. I will make a motion to approve item A, approving resolution 2026- I'm sorry, I'm off one. Item B, approving resolution 2026-47, adoption of the 2028 to 2032 ICIP plan with one modification, correcting the typo for Fire Station 1, bringing that number up to, what are we at, 5 million? We're missing a 0, is that right?
Yes, sir, 5,220,000.
Yeah, it should be 5,220,000.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on the amendment of item B. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Do you want me to be clear?
So now we need a vote on it.
Well, that was an amended motion, so now I'd ask you to make a motion.
To to vote on.
You amended the
Okay.
item, I guess is what we just did.
Then I make a motion to approve the amended resolution 2026-47, adoption of the 2028 to 2032 ICIP plan.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote on item B as amended. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Hund,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Okay, item C, open for discussion of resolution 2026-48, wildland personnel deployment pay, deployment overtime, and hazard pay. Chief Vance.
Good evening again. Resolution 2026-48 specifically addresses payment structure for wildland personnel while on deployment. This is one of those things that we've been putting off for quite a while. There's never been anything in resolution or in structure. We've just all been kind of going off of hearsay. So we took this challenge on this past couple of months to structure all of the pay. In doing so, we were able to increase the deployment rates for those who go out onto fires by 20%. All of these fees have been vetted through all the appropriate agencies, also according to the RMP guide, et cetera, and all reimbursable. So when we deploy crews out, we have all the employee-related expenses that are reimbursed. And the village benefit is that we also rent the vehicles out themselves. Essentially, we get a per-day rate for each of those vehicles that are out. And on top of that, we've added on a 5% administrative fee, so there is benefit to the village as well. For all the personnel costs, those are not, we don't profit on those. Those are directly passed on to the employee. And there's some specific language in here that structures everything. There was a lot of confusion about when they got hazard pay, when they got deployment overtime pay, or when they got that flat rate of 20% increase, and all of that has been addressed in this resolution. And I stand before you for any questions if you have any.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, great question. We have to have a specific order for that, and that usually has to come down from some typically state or federal agency. There are contractual agreements that we can basically go out on deployments for those as well. But we'll get a resource order, and as soon as that resource order is active, there's communication that's involved. As soon as we accept that order, they are on deployment pay as of that moment. And so that does include travel, does include the numerous hours that they're deployed. One thing that people get mixed up quite often is there's no pay code for time and a half or overtime. So the typical structure is if they work 8 hours but they're authorizing time and a half, they will document 12 hours and 8 hours plus 4, or if they're on double time, that will show as a 16-hour day. So it gets really confusing, just barely starting to wrap my head around it myself, to be honest. But yes, when they're on deployment pay, the clock starts as of that resource order, and it ends when they've been terminated, and travel day as well. The only thing that's not really reimbursed. Sorry, go ahead. No, the only thing that's not really in the daily rate is meals specifically, and there's language in both of those documents that says they can't buy chapstick and they can't buy energy drinks and things that they won't authorize for reimbursement. And all of our people are very well versed in that and collect receipts, and at the end we reimburse their meal expenses too. Yeah, 100%. As stated earlier, everything is based on a deployment rate schedule, so this will not apply to when they're here in the village working for their base, their normal rate, their village rate. So there's village rate that they work for on an 80-hour schedule, 40 hours per week, and then there's deployment pay, and this specifically addresses all those deployment structures. Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item C, approving resolution 2026-48, wildland personal deployment pay, deployment overtime, and hazard pay.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business, item C. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Motion passed, and this resolution has a spot for all the council members, so I just ask that you guys stay afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to open item D for discussion to approve resolution 2026-49, various budget adjustment requests. Mr. Ramal.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. As the fiscal year unfolds, actual revenues and expenditures rarely match the estimates that we adopt at the beginning of the year, and so the budget adjustment requests are the routine tool that we use in order to do those adjustments. You've seen me multiple times for this. In this case, we've actually got two. One is going to be item D and one is item I. I'll start with item D. It's basically an MBD fee. It's revenue recognition. So what we're doing is we're actually increasing the MBD revenue budget line by $7,166. The reason why is because we have collected more than what we anticipated whenever the budget was built. Item I is going to be go bond adjustments and utility fund transfer. This is two independent actions. So what you're seeing in item I is we're doing a $40,327 reduction to the 2023 Go Bond professional services budget. And the reason why we're doing this is because it needs to align with the actual bond balance as of this June. The second action in there is a $114,566 transfer from the general fund to the utility fund. And the reason for this is because we need to cover the USDA number 7 loan, both the principal and the interest payment, where the special assessment revenue fell short. And so, and just FYI, the USDA number 7 will be fully paid off in FY27. But this year, general fund needs to contribute some money to that to cover the bill.
Any questions or discussion? If not, I'd ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item D, approving resolution 2026-49, various budget adjustment requests.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business, item D. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Okay, item E, I'd ask for a motion to postpone item E, which is to approve an increase to the financial budget by $241,500 in FY27 so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Encode.
I will make a motion to postpone item E, approving an increase in the financial budget by $241,500 in FY26 so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay for the transition from Tyler Encode.
Should be fiscal year 27.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Fiscal year, you said fiscal year 26.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. So I'll make a motion to postpone item E, approving the increase in the financial budget by $241,500 in fiscal year 27, so the village can subscribe to OpenGov and pay the transition from Tyler Encode.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on new business, item E. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion to postpone passed.
Okay, moving on to item F, I'd like to open discussion to approve an MOU between Colfax County and the Village of Angel Fire for cooperation regarding the 2027 Rural Air Service Enhancement, known as RAISE grant application for Angel Fire KAXX. Director Gilmer.
All right, Mr. Mayor, councilors, clerk, and Manager Ware, I'm presenting to you as a staff recommendation that we approve this supplemental MOU, which basically outlines and delineates the powers between the county and the Village of Angel Fire in regards to administrating the grant is probably the best way to do it. This particular grant being the RAISE grant, so we can move forward with the county to apply for that grant here towards the end of the month. I will, if you give me just a second to read, the purposes of this agreement is to supplement the airport MOA by further authorizing and defining cooperation between the county and the village for the preparation, submission, administration, and potential implementation of the 2027 RAISE grant application for air service at the airport. And I will stand for questions.
Questions or discussion? Manager Weir?
Mayor, council, I will tell you that the Colfax County Commission voted on this exact same MOU this morning and approved it unanimously.
You stole my thunder.
It's getting ready to call for a vote.
I'll ask for a motion.
Yes, thank you, Manager Weir.
I'll make a motion on item F, approve MOU between Colfax County and the Village of Angel Fire for cooperation regarding the 2027 Rural Air Service Enhancement Grant Application for Angel Fire KAXX.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry.
Thank you.
Motion passed.
I'd like to open item G for discussion to approve resolution 2026-50, acceptance of the FY 27 New Mexico Clean and Beautiful Grant Program Award.
Yeah,
Mr. Vera.
Aaron Lindsay, Council Manager Weir, Clerk Strickland. We applied for the FY 27 Clean and Beautiful Grant, and we did receive an award of $12,065.80. And this is a request to accept this grant to move forward. You should know that there is a 25% match, but it is an in-kind match, so the volunteers for our fall and our spring cleanup days can be used to satisfy that 25% match. And it is a reimbursable grant, so we have to come up with expenses and then get reimbursed.
Any questions?
Any questions?
We know what we're gonna spend this on?
I put in a request for more than $50,000, so this is only a portion of what I asked for. I'll be working with the tourism director. I requested some tables and benches to be put in the event center, a refillable water bottle fill station there, and some stationary trash cans that we probably won't do, but that was just one of the requests, and the fall and the spring cleanup days.
Mayor, council, I'd also like to recommend that we consider benches for the airport with these expenditures.
Any other questions or discussion? Ask for a motion.
Make a motion on item G, approving resolution 2026-50, acceptance of the FY 27 New Mexico Clean and Beautiful Grant Program Award.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item G. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Okay, finally this evening, item I, open discussion to approve resolution 2026-49, various budget adjustment requests. Mr. Randall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, this is the second item that I covered previously.
Any questions or discussion?
There is a mistake in this. It is listed as 49 twice. This is actually resolution 52, so I'm gonna amend the motion again when we do this.
I think you're free to make a clean motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to amend item I, approving resolution 2026-52, as opposed to the duplicated previously mentioned 49 various budget adjustment requests.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item I, the amendment. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Curry. Motion passed.
Okay, I'd ask for a motion on the amended item I.
Make a motion to approve amended item I, approving resolution 2026-52 various bars.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item I. Mayor Pro Tem Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks?
Aye.
And Counselor Kurd? Motion passed.
Finally, this evening, our manager's report, Mr. Weir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, first of all, I would like to thank everybody for the Balloons Over Angel Fire event. It was, required significant teamwork from everybody at the village. We pulled, it was smooth, I mean, I was, shocked, I actually thought people weren't showing up because the parking was so smooth. I was like, and then, of course, my wife was the one counting vehicles, and I went over and said, how many vehicles? I was expecting it to be really low, and it ends up being, slightly more than last year, only about 15 or 20 cars. Greg would know for sure, but it was slightly more than last year on Friday. And Saturday, we had 818 cars, which was an increase over last year's 805 cars. And again, the parking was just so smooth, it went quick. We were, we were basically getting sporadic vehicles by 9 o'clock. Everybody else was in place. Unfortunately, we weren't able to fly. It had to do with upper air disturbances primarily. Safety first. It was just called on safety concerns about the wind speeds at the upper atmosphere. And if you ever go out there, you see they do a helium balloon, it's about this big, and they let it go up, and you'd see this balloon going up and maybe drifting barely, and then when it hit that second level, it just took off. So that's why the event was called on both Saturday and Sunday because of the upper air disturbance, and it's part of the game. But I think overall it was a great event. Our vendors were happy with the event. Greg can talk about it more at the next meeting, but I didn't want to wait till then. And he said overall it was a good thing. As Chief Ogre said, there's a few little things we need to work on. There always is. But it was a great event and it required a lot of teamwork to pull off, and I just want to thank everybody for that. I also want to make a brief comment on the electrical issues that the village has been experiencing over the last couple of weeks. I did have a meeting with Luis Reyes, the CEO of Kit Carson. He actually had already determined, just looking at the number of outages we had and comparing to prior years, that our number was much higher in the last month than prior years. And so he was already working on it. And they've been out exploring, and they've discovered right now 3 primary lines that just, they've been there forever. And they're affecting service here. Now that they've identified the lines, they have to order material, they have to schedule staff, and they're trying not to impede on our July. So it's gonna be mid to late August before these 3 main power lines that are buried. He said if they were above ground, we would have replaced them already, but they're buried. So, and it is gonna cause some outages in the areas, and the areas are mainly from the power lines to Lowe's. In that area, all the way to the back, is where 2 of the main power lines have, I don't know what he mean exactly what the problem is, but they're of the age that they're starting to fail. And then he noted they discovered another one on the top of the mountain that is gonna need to be replaced as well. And so those 3 are gonna be started in August, and they're anticipating them being completed by October.
I have one other thing. I just wanted to say thank you for, it's been a couple weeks, but the Village Cleanup Day, we had several kids that participated in there, and at least the areas we were at, we found to be much cleaner than we found in years past, so thank you to the crews and staff that are maintaining some pickup in between the cleanups. We were glad to participate at that event. It's a good one for our families and kids to go out and enjoy.
That wasn't me, but honestly, I worked all day that day, so I didn't get a chance to participate. I believe it was Rocky and Shay that led that charge, so.
Anything further?
That's it.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I have one quick announcement,
Certainly.
real quick. I don't know if the village is aware, but last Friday, the former streets director, Richard Cordova, had passed away. And I just wanted to make the public aware.
I'm sorry to hear that, and thank you, Julie, for letting us know. Okay, this meeting is adjourned.